Om Namah Shivaya. Welcome. Today we are discussing the last path of yoga from the four. It's called Jnana Yoga. So Jnana means knowledge. Jnana Yoga, the yoga of knowledge. So here we are going to try to reach the oneness with the Absolute through an understanding of it, through a step-by-step understanding. So the main instrument we're going to use are the intellect, reasoning powers, and then we are going to try to awaken through this reflection on different philosophical topics. We are going to try to awaken some intuitive faculties which we have in us. So the intellect is the beginning, but it's not the final. It should lead us to an intuitive understanding of certain truth where the intellect cannot go. It's beyond its realm of possibilities. So the basic starting point of this yoga is the Vedantic assertion that when we look at what is reality, reality is oneness. It's only one. Yeah, reality is one. It's called Brahman, or the Absolute. And all the forms that we see are actually unreal. Yeah, they actually are an illusion. It's called Maya. Yeah? And the only reality is this oneness. And so when so this is the assertion very famously put forward by Shankaracharya, the very famous propounder of Vedanta. So when we hear that, this teaching, which we get from the Upanishads, so one after another, these teachers of the Upanishads, these rishis, are going to tell us, forget what you are understanding that the reality is. It's not that. It's all one. Try to see beyond these forms and capture this oneness, this essence. Just like an image is given, like the ocean, and you see all the waves coming up, and they have no reality because they just come up, and a few seconds later they are gone. And where's the wave now? It's only the ocean, but it takes the appearance of these different forms. Then it goes back into that essence. The essence is this water, this ocean. So now we hear that, and then we look around, and then we see only forms. Like here we're surrounded by hundreds of trees, and we have here beautiful platforms and some birds and many hundreds of beings. So how can we reconcile our experience, which is an experience of duality, where duality means that I am here and there is something outside of me. There is always two, at least. Yeah. How can we reconcile this duality with the oneness which is presented to us as the truth, the finality of the reality, according to this philosophy? So the path which leads us through this transformation of understanding is Jnana Yoga, the yoga of wisdom. So how are we going to go about it? There are different ways, different kinds of meditations or approaches. Yeah, we saw already one when we were talking about Karma Yoga. When we do an actions, we can try to remember that, I'm just the witness of this action, but actually the action, everything is which is moving, all these forms, etc. It's all Maya. So it's all the gunas, rajas, tamas, sattva. It's all moving. Like when we see a movie and we see all these images, and we get caught into that movie, and we get caught into the story and the characters and what's happening to them. And if suddenly we just open our eyes and just think, I'm getting emotionally involved into all these people on the screen, and actually there's nothing there. It's like being projected. somewhere. It's just light being projected on a screen. Of course, nowadays it can also be digital and so on, on these different formats. Same idea, something is being projected. And then if we take a moment and we back up and then we realize, well, why should I get nervous about something that's happening in a movie? It doesn't make really much sense. But still, if the movie is good, it happens, no? It catches our attention and then we are gone for a couple of hours. So in the same way, this universe, this Maya, the yogis call it like a projection. It projects all these beautiful forms, and then we get pulled into it. And so they explain to us that no, you think you are this universe, actually is only appearing to be manifesting in all these different forms. But actually, it is only like that once it is perceived through your mind. Yeah. So once again, the mind is the instrument which is creating, like veiling. Yeah, veiling the consciousness. Yeah. So they would say, take away the mind, take away the body too. Yeah, take away the mind, take away the body. Keep only what's there, and then you will have that oneness. Yeah. So, but how do we do that? So there is a technique, a very famous technique called neti neti, where we examine, something which is in us, and then we try to ask the question: okay, is this me? Who am I? Is this who I am? And we go like that through a step by step process where we say this not, and then we kind of get to the essence. Yeah. So we start with the uh, physical. We start with the physical body. So the question is, who are you? Who am I? And the criteria is that whatever we find to define our identity, it should be permanent. Yeah, because if you have an address and you say, okay, I have an address, but I change it every day, it doesn't help anybody, because when the mail comes, it will only help you to receive mail if you have a permanent place, permanent address. Yeah, if it changes every day, it's not an address anymore. So in the same way, who we are, if it changes all the time, then this is not really who we are. Like temporarily we are that, we are that, we are that. So we are trying to find something which is like permanently there, which we can completely rely on. Yeah. And the second criterion is that who we are should be the subject and not an object. Yeah. Like for example, okay, so here I have a phone. Yeah. So why do I know that it's an object? Because I can give it to somebody, and I have it in my hand. It's mine now. So I can give it to somebody. So it's not attached to me. Yeah. So whatever is an object, I can get rid of it. It doesn't change my identity, who I am. Yeah. So that's the second criterion. And then we'll do this exercise very quickly and see where we go. If we start with the physical body, well, we very quickly understand that it's very changeable. It's not permanent at all. It changes so fast. Yeah, even in a couple of months, you look at somebody and they can change. They can gain weight, lose weight. You come back after 10 years. It's a very different kind of face or body or etc. Yeah. Take yourself when you were take a photograph of yourself when you were 6 months old, 3 months old, and then now, and you say, okay, this is me. And then a photograph of you now. What's common between these two in terms of bodies? Nothing at all. I mean, this body which we use as a baby is gone for a long time, and we've had so many different bodies since then. So the body we have now, we have it today, and in 7 years or in a couple of years, it's completely different. All the cells have been renewed, etc. Yeah. So that's the body. Yeah. So, and also, is it an object or subject? So it's kind of mentally hard to do this exercise, but if I want, I can, give my hand to somebody, gets their hands. I want bigger hands, smaller hands. Yeah, it's all possible. We can do, plastic surgery and change the nose, etc. Does it change me? No, because those are external parts of ourselves. My identity doesn't change. Yeah. Now, next level, the energetic level, the prana. Is that me? Is it permanent? No, it changes. One day I have lots of energy, the next day I have less energy. It goes up and down. Is it subject or object? I can give prana to people. I can give energy. I do the yoga class, then I take my phone, I call somebody who's depressed, and after the call, they feel very good. They've taken all of the prana from the class, and I feel just like before class. Yeah, can transfer prana. It's not ours. Yeah. So it's also not our identity. Up and down it goes. Yeah. So the prana, the emotions. Yeah. So the whole idea, the whole philosophical idea behind it is that if you put your identity in something which is going to disappear, it's inevitably going to create a lots of suffering, because when it goes, then it creates suffering, separation. Yeah. So emotions, we also get attached to them, identify with them, but we know this is not who we are. They come and go. We are very quietly sitting, and suddenly somebody says something. We get irritated, we get angry. Then it goes by, then we are back to ourselves, and the emotion is like a wave. It went through. Yeah. So like that also. Like that also very changeable, and I can look at it and say my emotion, my anger. Yeah. It's like mine. I possess it, but it's not me. So now, if we move to the intellect, so for example, opinions. I think, I believe this is like that, and so on. Is this permanent? Every couple of years, we change. Maybe we could change our worldview completely. We can change our opinions completely. A few years back, we are ready to die for an idea, and now we're not ready to die at all. It's completely different. We don't care for it. It changes. We change opinions, political opinions. And these even though these things are actually the source of big attachments, and they create lots of pain, actually, like religious ideas, because of attachment to religious ideas, sometimes we become very fanatical. Yeah. So once we discard all that, all these things that are changing, and we understand, okay, I can live with that, but this is not really me, then what remains, according to Jnana Yoga, is who I am. Yeah. Who I am is just pure joy, pure consciousness. So that's the experience we're trying to make in Jnana Yoga, to get to that absolute joy. It's also called Satchitananda. Thank you. Om Namah Shivaya.